In this edition of In Depth, we are going to take a look at Hammurabi. In your notebook, as you watch this video, please jot down 3 main points and create 2 discussion questions. Hammurabi, as mentioned, is our topic for today. Historian Will Durant said, "At the outset of Babylonian history stands the powerful figure of Hammurabi, conqueror and lawgiver, through a reign of 43 years. Primeval seals and inscriptions transmit him to us partially, a youth full of fire and genius, a very whirlwind in battle, who crushes all rebels, cuts his enemies into pieces, marches over inaccessible mountains, and never loses an engagement. Under him, the petty warring states of the lower valley were forced into unity and peace, and disciplined into order and security by a historic code of laws." Again, this is historian Will Durant introducing us to the idea, to the concept, to the person of Hammurabi. We don't know when he was born, but we do know that he came to power in 1792 BC. He stayed in power until his death in 1750 BC. He was the 6th king of Babylon. He assumed the throne from his father, but he expanded the kingdom by conquering all of ancient Mesopotamia. He was best known for successful military strategies. One of his favored strategies was to cut off the water supply to the towns and villages of his enemies so that they would basically be starved into submission. He was also a diplomat. He made alliances and knew when to strategically break them, so you couldn't totally trust him. Political maneuvering, even before Machiavelli, he would have fit in very well in today's society by knowing how to play the game. Unlike a lot of leaders that we will study in this class, he was a leader that truly cared about the people, and he sought to improve the lives of his citizens. He improved the infrastructure. Infrastructure refers to all the physical and organizational structures of your civilization. In today's world, it would be buildings, roads, bridges, all those kinds of things. In that day, it was temples, so he was playing to the spiritual side of the people, and he renovated and built very elaborate temples. He created irrigation canals so that people had water. There's water figuring once again into the story. Created many public buildings. Created defensive walls to protect the people. He also strengthened the economy. He forgave the debts of the people. He encouraged trade. Long before his time, he focused on consumer protection. Again, that's part of also wanting to make the lives of the people better. And he focused heavily on food distribution so that everybody had their basic needs met. He also created rules for society. Remember, he was bringing together a very diverse group of people, a large group of people, and so he needed it to be orderly. He had a strict system of justice. He created 282 laws that the people had to follow. They covered all aspects of society. And his mission here was to proactively try to settle disputes and keep the peace. Here's a quote from Hammurabi. He says, "I am indeed the shepherd that brings peace." These laws are known as the Code of Hammurabi, and we're going to spend a little bit of time with those. So actually, if you want, you can pause the video now and take a look at an excerpt of those laws. Now let's discuss Hammurabi. Do you think it's better to have a lot of rules or just a few? We're going to ask you to react to this quote. Hammurabi said, "The first duty of government is to protect the powerless from the powerful." In general, what do you think about the Code of Hammurabi that you took a look at least an excerpt of? And then let's also take some time to share your main points and questions.